Traders, does Japanese yen strength have more room to move into? Let's take a look. Welcome back to Simply Forex. If you want to improve as a trader, then you're definitely in the right place. Each week, I'm going to give you easy to follow trade ideas, tips, and advice so you too can succeed at trading. And if you stay till the end of the vid, I'm going to give you all of my trade ideas for today as well. So stay tuned for that. Let's get bloody started. Right, let's start with yen. Okay, so let's start. If you look at any yen pair, right, Aussie dollar yen, right, this yen strength, yen pairs have been in free fall, right? This yen strength is just, super strong. Yeah, CAD yen, right, super strong. Just any yen pair, right? Swiss franc yen, super strong, right? Super bearish candles. All right, a bit of room to move into. So that tends to be the theme, guys, right? We're seeing lots of yen strength if we go back to Aussie dollar yen, and there's still room for yen strength to move into. Okay, if we start with the weekly chart on Aussie dollar yen, right, you can see we're in a downtrend. Okay, we was in this uptrend, we had consolidation, and then bang, we broke out of this consolidation. Nice big bearish candle, right? And we have room to move into, right? Back down to these weekly lows. Could even go further, guys, right? Could all come all the way back down to here, right? So weekly saying, there's room. If we go to the day chart now, right? The thing with it is yes, there's still room to move into, right? There's no two ways about it, right? 96 would be my first target, 95.5 my next target. And again, like I said, there's potential for more room to the downside. And then we want to see a bearish candle. And these candles, that's very bearish. And this is bearish enough. I know there's a bit of a bottom wick, but it's bearish enough. The body of this wick keeps breaking this candle. This candle broke this low, right? So there's strength in this trend. It is a little bit overextended or oversold, right? It is. Here's the price. Here's the moving average 20. And remember, the moving average 20 is the average, the mean of the chart. So in that respect, it is a little bit overextended, but, it's difficult to see this downward trend, creeping back up, right? It's just so much bearish pressure and we can continue to sell. So that's the idea, guys. And then if we drop down to the H4, there's a level in here, which would be a nice level, right? You can see we're in a H4 downtrend. If price retraced into here, what was once support becomes resistance. We got the moving average 20 coming round. So in here would be a really nice selling opportunity for Aussie dollar yen. All right, so yeah, that's one yen pair. Let's take a look at another yen pair. So euro yen, right? Very much traded. Let's start with the weekly chart. Again, right, we were in an uptrend, guys, at this point. Yeah, uptrend, we were getting higher highs, higher lows, but then yen strength, kapow, we're in a downtrend. All right, and we've got this nice big bearish weekly candle. And like I say, we still have this room to move into back down to these lows and this 156 psychological level. And at current price, that's still 126 pips, right? So there's still lots of room. If we drop down to the day chart, again, clearly in a downtrend, and we're just looking at the candles, guys. The candles will give us clues as to whether or not this bearish move will continue. And the answer is yes, right? We've got bearish candle followed by a bearish candle. And again, the bottom of this this candle closed below this low here. So lots of momentum. If we drop to the H4, again, we just want to pinpoint areas that we can sell from. And H4 is clearly in this downtrend. If we get a retrace into this area, what was once support, becomes resistance, moving average 20 catches up. This is a really nice area for selling euro yen. All right, guys, so yeah, yen does have more room to move into just by looking at the charts from a technical point of view. There are more trade ideas, guys, so let me get stuck into those now. And guys, as always, if you enjoy my trades, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and smash the like button. Merci beaucoup. Also, don't forget to join our trading community. Please come join our free Discord channel. You can talk to like-minded traders, share knowledge, ideas, have a chit chat. Yeah, come join it, guys. Right, what else we're looking at now? Well, now we're still looking at Swiss franc pairs. Now, I've been looking at Swiss franc pairs for 12 years now. I'm exaggerating, but it feels like that. And the first one we're going to look at is US dollar Swiss franc. And if we start with the day chart, well, if we start with the weekly chart, in fact, right, this is still, you know, very bullish, right? We were in this uptrend. Okay, we know we had that dollar strength and that dollar push, right? And we broke through this level here. There was a key level of resistance, and this candle broke through it. Now, I know last week's candle is quite bearish, right? So I'm not looking to take price up to here. This was an old target, and in fact, I will remove it. All right, and this is our new target, this 89,000. But weekly, still in an uptrend, okay? And then if we drop down to the day chart, this last daily low here, right? If we just, again, follow structure and trend, and this is where we're at, right? We're getting higher lows, and these lows held, right? And we're getting higher highs still. Now, because of that big bearish weekly candle, and we see this, you know, a lot of these weekly candles on the US dollar major pairs, and the weekly candles are suggesting US dollar weakness, right? So I don't want to push my luck with this trade, okay? But I think we can take price back up to here, because then this will represent a head and shoulders pattern. So I think there's a little bit more room up to this 89,000 level. You know, I would look at the fib here as well, right? If we take the fib from the top to the bottom, right? Take the fib from the high to the low, you know, does it have a bit more room to move into? Maybe, right? At least back up to these last highs here, right? If we look at the H4, you know, we're going to make it back up to at least here, if not here. Now, will we get a retrace? If price just carries on, then not interested, guys, right? If we look at the H4, you can see there's this level through here that was once support, resistance, then support again. So if price comes back down to here, moving average 20 catches up, then I would be interested in buying this, okay? Because this represents value, and I think we have room to the upside. But if it just shoots off, no trade. Okay, so we need that retrace. And then if we carry on with this Swiss franc weakness idea, and then we look at Aussie dollar Swiss franc. So I'm still in this trade, right? I've been in this trade since Friday. But let's start with the day chart. And on the daily chart, right, you can see, first of all, let's point out this trend line that's just tracking price quite accurately. All right, if I zoom out a bit, you can see that trend line. And then really, we're still in an uptrend for me. Okay, so price was here, we've come down, and then price broke up, and we've become, yeah, it's still in an uptrend, right? And this level through here is holding, if not a bit of a range, right? It's an uptrend stroke range, because we're getting higher highs and higher lows and higher highs. Okay, so a range stroke uptrend, I still like buying out of this level all the way back up to here potentially. Now, yesterday's candle was a doji, right? There's no two ways about it, right? It was a doji. We got, you know, a bottom wick and a top wick that are quite even. So there is indecision here, right, at this level. But I really like the level. So even though the candle doesn't quite, you know, represent what I want to do, I'm still willing to take buys, you know, and see price come up to here. If we drop down to the H4 as well, this supports that idea, right? Because H4 is basically this, and it has broken, right? We've broken this level through here. We're getting higher highs, and this grey zone within a grey zone, these last lows are holding, right? So that suggests, you know, we can potentially come back up to here, you know, if not further. And my target is this 0.5770, my first target. Like I say, I've been in this trade since Friday, and I'm still in this trade. My stop loss is down here. All right, so yeah, I still like this trade. You know, I like it now, right? If you look at H1, we've kind of had this. Price came down. You know, we had a big sell-off yesterday. Then price has built back up. And now, because we've broke this high with this candle, we're in a H1 uptrend, right? Let me draw my lines again. We are seeing higher highs. Price come down to these lows. This is why I've got an alarm in here. I'd be interested to see if this low breaks. But right now looks like a good buying opportunity, you know, if not back up to here, if not further. So Aussie dollar Swiss franc buys, and then the last Swiss franc pair, not easy to say, get your teeth in, is Canadian dollar Swiss franc. And again, let's start with the weekly, because the weekly supports this idea. And weekly was in this, just this sideways action, right? And then bang, we got a break. This candle here broke out of this consolidation through here. Right, and we had room to move into. If we drop down to the day chart now, this day trend is still intact. I know I keep mentioning this, but this is the trade I'm looking at, and it's still intact, right? These lows here never broke. Look at all of these wicks, right? Keep closing back within one another. Look at all these wicks down here. Right? There's lots of buying pressure here. Now, it's not the prettiest of price action. But again, like with US dollar Swiss franc, I'm just aiming for this last high here, because that represents potentially a head and shoulders pattern once it hits that level. All right, so that's what I'm going to look for. This 6,350 level would be my target as a result. If we drop down to the H4, it is in a H4 uptrend, right? Ever since this candle broke this high, we've been in a H4 uptrend, okay? And we are, right? If not a bit of a range, right? But that is an uptrend stroke range. And, you know, look at these candles going into this level. Look at these wicks. Look at that candle. Everything's suggesting this level is going to pop through. And then we have room to the upside, right? And that's how I would trade it. So there's the H4. If you look at the H1, I would wait for this, you know, pop through this level. Don't know why I keep using the word pop. There won't be a sound effect when it happens, right? If we get a pop through this level, perhaps a bit of a retrace, I would suggest we can put our stop loss below these lows here. If you want to be really safe, below these lows here, right? And then take price back up to that level. So Canadian dollar Swiss franc buys, and then the last one I'm keeping an eye on, shall we say. Before I show you this, guys, please don't forget to leave a comment. Yeah, let us know which trade ideas you like and why. Let us know which pairs you're looking at. Maybe you don't like one of my trade ideas. It's fine. You can tell me, and my feelings won't be hurt. And also, guys, don't forget to join us for the live stream today, 7 a.m. New York EST time. Get yourself there. Get as many questions over to me as you can. The last one is pound CAD, right? And again, I'm just looking for an area to break. If we look at the day chart, this is still just in a downtrend, right? So if we just track structure, this is where we're at. And this last lower high never broke, right? It never broke. And we're getting lower lows as well. So we're still in an uptrend, right? We're more or less at the moving average 20, okay, which is dynamic resistance. We've bounced off this resistance level here, right? And we've got this nice big bearish candle. Okay. Now, why is my target only here? Okay, this blue line is my target. Why is my target not down here? Because of the weekly. I mean, the weekly, probably more of the monthly. The weekly has broken out of this trend line. Right, we broke out of this trend line, and the weekly would suggest we have room to the downside. Right, just looking at that structure. But look at the monthly. Right, I don't like this big bullish wick and in a monthly uptrend. Right, we're in an uptrend. So I like it, but I'm not going to push it all the way back down to here. Right, maybe it will come back down to here. But what I'm going to do is, if we look at the day chart, I'm just going to try and take price back down to this area of support here. Right, it was once support, it will be support again. You know, potentially I've got this 1.7724, but potentially down to the 1.7700 level, the psychological level. Okay, and then if we drop down to the H4, there's just basically this level that needs breaking, and it's this level through here, right? This is the last H4 low for me. Okay, and if we break this level, I will consider selling just back down to this last low here and take some profit. All right, guys. So yeah, those are all of my trade ideas for today. If you've enjoyed the vid, then please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Join me for the live stream. Join our free community, and I'll see you soon.